Right now on News 3, a school district investigation after a photo of several boys giving what appears to be a Nazi salute goes viral.
Plus, the first moves being made, kicking off the beginning of the governor-elect's transition period.
This is News 3 at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. A controversial photo has surfaced in Baraboo showing what appears to be a large group of students giving the Nazi salute.
In a letter home to parents, the school district says the photo was taken last spring off school grounds. We have team coverage of this story tonight. Amanda Quintana getting reaction from former students and the district. And Keely Arthur is live where members of the community held an anti-hate rally tonight. Let's start with Amanda with how the district is responding. Amanda?
Yes, well, all this media attention, national media attention, has the district looking out for their students' safety and mental health. The picture spread fast on social media, but it's not new. It was taken last spring before junior prom, and it began circulating this morning after a tweet from a student-run account last night.
It was very astonishing to see it online and in a joking manner.
This photo has quickly gone viral. It was taken last spring, the now senior boys at Baraboo High School posing for junior prom pictures. Almost all of them appear to be making a Nazi salute. Some on social media quick to also point out what they believe is the white power sign in the front row.
I was surprised because that setting is there's parents everywhere. I wasn't surprised at the behavior itself, but I was just surprised that it was so widely accepted in the moment and there was no punishment because I had never heard of it until last night.
Recent Baraboo High School graduate Allison Amont says posing in front of the Sauk County Courthouse is a tradition. The pictures have been on the photographer's website along with other prom couples until last night when the Welcome to Baraboo student-run account tweeted it with the hashtag BarabooProud. Sean McCutcheon used to run that account in 2015, passed down to a senior each year. Another school tradition.
It was supposed to be just spread humor and definitely not hate. Most of it was just satirical stuff about Baraboo.
But now it's causing national backlash towards students and the city. Even the Auschwitz Memorial is speaking out against it, many saying it's not funny.
My first thought was I was shocked that that's coming from my hometown, and then embarrassed that it was coming from my hometown.
The photographer on Monday replacing the pictures with a confusing statement, saying it's too bad those in society can and do take time to be jerks, and for some on the internet, there's an overwhelming urge to destroy. The school district says they're investigating along with the Baraboo police, and they will pursue available and appropriate action, including legal, to address this issue. While those who grew up there say there needs to be more cultural sensitivity training. The photographer has not replied to our request for comment, but did tell Madison 365 that the picture was innocent and he remembers telling them to wave to their parents. But one student, who is one of the only ones pictured not doing the salute, said that is not true. He felt many of the boys were doing the Nazi salute on purpose and his morals would not let him participate. Some parents have written us saying their sons didn't know what they were doing or what it meant.
Amanda Quintana reporting in our news center. Amanda, thank you. Baraboo residents want people to know that photo does not represent their community.
They held an event tonight to make that message clear. Our Keely Arthur joins us live in Baraboo to share how. Keely?
Well, how do you combat this hateful photo? Well, with a photo of love taken in the exact same spot. Baraboo residents met up at the Baraboo Courthouse around 4 p.m. today, the same spot where some high school students took a photo that appears to show them making Nazi salutes. Instead, today's photo was filled with hearts, rainbow flags, and smiles. Many Baraboo high school students were here. They were upset over that viral photo, saying that photo does not represent them or their classmates. They think those students didn't really understand the images they were creating. But I just got off the phone with Hillel Rabbi Andrea Steinberger. She said those students knew what they were doing and Wisconsin can do better.
Keely Arthur reporting live from Baraboo tonight. Keely, thank you.
A hunter had to be flown to the hospital this weekend after his stand broke and he was left dangling upside down in a tree. This happened in Richland County. The Sheriff's Department says the man, who is from Milton, was using a climber stand when it gave way Saturday morning. He was wearing his safety harness, which kept him from falling, but he was stuck dangling for 2 hours when the neighbors eventually heard him yelling. First responders freed him, and he was flown to the hospital with a leg injury and hypothermia. And it has been very cold out there. Let's turn it to weather now. Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary, we're staying below normal.
We are, and we'll continue that way for much of the next week or so before we start seeing milder conditions as we head toward the Thanksgiving holiday. Let's start out by taking a look at visible cloud track. There have been thicker clouds from Madison southward. This is the northern edge of a storm system that brought some light snow as far north as the southern suburbs of Chicago. To the north and west, some lower clouds coming in are starting to break apart, and we should see partly cloudy skies overnight. As far as Doppler track is concerned, might be a couple of flakes of snow out there. The more persistent areas of snow, like I say, from Chicago southward, but across southern Wisconsin, very little of that is reaching the ground. Visibilities right now 8 miles in Lone Rock, but elsewhere visibilities at or above 10 miles. Low temperatures this morning, 24 degrees here in Madison, generally in the lower 20s through much of southern Wisconsin. High temperatures only made it up to around 30 here, a little milder to our south and east. To the north and west, temperatures didn't get out of the 20s, and that'll be the case for tomorrow. Current temperatures are near the low temperatures for the day, and wind chills are in the middle teens. By tomorrow morning, look for temperatures to be in the middle teens again. Look for skies to be mostly clear. Temperatures tomorrow only topping out around 26. That's your first alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. The State Assembly Speaker is sending a message tonight to Wisconsin's governor-elect.
This comes the same day that Tony Evers is naming members of his transition team and staff going forward. Rose Schmidt, just back from the Capitol, joins us, tells us what we need to know tonight. Rose?
That's exactly right. Now, Speaker Robin Vos says he wants Governor-elect Tony Evers to know his win is not a mandate for change across the state. That was the tone he struck today to members of the Assembly's GOP caucus. He says there are bipartisan issues he and Evers can work on together, but Republicans will not, quote, roll over and play dead. Assembly Democrats will caucus tomorrow and weren't available to comment on camera today. Now, Vos has previously hinted at trying to scale back some of the governor-elect's authority and explained some of his reason for doing so tonight.
And I don't want him to be able to walk in on day one and with the stroke of a pen undo things that the vast majority of the public supports and the legislature and the governor signed into law.
Tony Evers will be sworn in as governor on January 7th. He's naming some of his transition team today, including a former UW Board of Regents president, a former Teacher of the Year, and the CEO of Exact Sciences. A spokesperson for Evers says he will keep his current role as state superintendent until he's sworn in. Now, tomorrow, the state's legislature's Budget Committee plans to vote on a nearly $95,000 budget to cover costs as Evers' team transitions in to replace current Governor Scott Walker. The same committee will hear from the public Wednesday about a $100 million tax break bill for Kimberly Clark.
Rose, thank you. New tonight, Madison Police Chief Mike Koval says vehicle thefts were up 28% in October compared to last year. According to the chief's blog, there were 49 reported auto thefts last month in the city. He says of those 49, 36 have been recovered. 40 of them had the keys in them. Through the end of October, there have now been 344 reported stolen cars this year. The Richland County Sheriff's Department says they have made their biggest ever meth bust this weekend. Several baggies of methamphetamine totaling about 40 grams were found in a car during a traffic stop in Richland Center last night. Officers arrested the driver, a 19-year-old from La Crosse, and the passenger, a 31-year-old from Richland Center.
Once released from prison, it can be difficult for former inmates to get back into the swing of things, including finding a job. But there's a new option for current prisoners at Oak Hill Correctional Institution in Oregon that state officials say can help not only those behind bars, but taxpayers and the economy as well.
This is a minimum security state facility just outside of Madison. It's also the first home to a new job center, giving inmates a head start before they get out.
49 days, not like I'm counting.
49 days until Kenneth Shong is released from prison.
I'm still a little nervous. You know, I still have to face the fact that I screwed up.
He says he's serving time for tax evasion and state misrepresentation, with court records showing past convictions, including forgery.
I'll be 19 months.
Not like he's counting.
No.
But beyond crossing off the days and months, he's focused on what he's looking forward to once his time in Oak Hill Correctional Institution is up.
Oddly enough, getting to work.
That's what this new job center inside the facility is geared toward, allowing current inmates like Shong to make resumes, connect with employers, and set up job interviews for when they're out.
We have vision for them, and we have confidence in them.
Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Clayfish, along with the Departments of Workforce Development and Corrections, are celebrating the job center's opening, saying when it comes to the numbers, it adds up.
In a 3% unemployment world, you've got to really look outside the box. And in many cases, a lot of the folks who are here at Oak Hill and across our corrections department make really good potential employees.
Clayfish says keeping one inmate in prison costs taxpayers about $32,000 a year, but making sure they have jobs lined up can turn inmates into taxpayers themselves. Another number is important: the second chance.
Everybody deserves the opportunity and a chance, and that's what this is about. We won't give up on them, and we don't want them to give up on themselves.
Having job possibilities lined up before release can give inmates like Shong something to count on.
To make sure that I have gainful employment, that's the key.
The hope is to expand on this program, potentially bringing the center to other state facilities. Reporting in Oregon, Madeline O'Neill, WISC News 3.
And according to the Wisconsin Department of Corrections, 9,000 state inmates are released back into the community every year.
Governor Scott Walker's current budget includes $1.5 million to expand job training in state facilities. Still ahead tonight, a special surprise for a local veteran. And
how a new tool being donated to local first responders could save your pet's life in case of a fire. As the holiday season approaches, officials say they begin to see more residential fires.
Today in Janesville, the fire department was given a donation, a tool that can help save the lives of pets in these dangerous situations. Chris Lewinberg reports, new tonight at 6.
Hi. I kiss her face a lot. Face kiss her.
If it's possible to have a love story with a dog, then this relationship would be considered a classic.
I saw a picture of her and went and got her the very next day because I knew she was the one.
Jake Van Overmyron says that Lucy is a part of the family.
She's kind of our everything.
And he'll do anything to keep it that way.
So we've made sure she stays healthy and happy as much as possible, as long as possible. In fact, my wife won't even let me discuss having another puppy ever right now. So she's kind of it.
But the reality of losing a pet is something people face every day. Van Overmyron works for Invisible Fence, who says that 40,000 pets die in fires a year. Which is why they're helping first responders save more of our four-legged friends with oxygen masks for pets.
So we have 4 ambulances that each have a set of the oxygen masks, and we're trained on them, ready to use them.
If a pet has inhaled too much smoke from a fire, first responders can hook up the masks to oxygen tanks and fit them around the animal's snout to give life-saving care.
If their pets aren't able to make it out of the house safely, then hopefully we're able to go in there and assist them out ourselves.
If it was Lucy in that position, Van Overmeieren knows that he'd be thankful for the effort.
Makes me feel better about that we're helping, I guess, yeah, it makes you really think about it.
For News 3, I'm Chris Lewinberg.
Fire officials tell us that if you experience a residential fire, the first thing you should do is to get yourself out of danger and allow first responders to take care of your pets.
A special surprise for a local veteran today in recognition of Veterans Day. With the help of American Family Insurance and Gates Collision, Army Sergeant First Class Andrew Diaz was given this Jeep Patriot today during a special event at the Armed Forces Reserve Center. Sergeant Diaz, an Iraq War veteran and the recipient of 2 Purple Hearts. More to come tonight on News 3 at 6.
In sports, with a short week ahead, how the Packers are getting ready for their Thursday night game against the Seattle Seahawks.
And in weather, the temperatures will stay cold pretty much for the next week or so before starting to turn a little milder as we head toward Thanksgiving. I'll have our First Alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joins us now with a look at your forecast. And my youngest son wanted to know from you, when are we going to get more snow? He's very upset it's gone. And I said, yeah, I'll ask that question. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I was going to say, by the end of March, he'll be saying, when's the snow going to go away? So, no, I don't have a lot of snow in the forecast. Maybe a little bit Friday night and Saturday.
Benicio can wait.
But it'll stay cold. And
I'll send it to your house.
So if you want to get out and do some of your holiday shopping early, hey, I just found out our 2019 Wisconsin weather calendars are in. They just got in here, so you can order them. That way you don't have to venture out in the cold or the snow when it comes. You can order your calendars now. The cost now is $13. That includes shipping. You can send it to WISC-TV 3 weather calendar, 7025 Raymond Road, Madison, 53719. Or you can order them online at madisonmagazine.com/weather-calendar. Now, as we take a look at visible cloud tracking, you can see there were lots of clouds today across the southern portion of the state. The clouds have been thinning out to our north and to our west. Now, Doppler track, just a couple of flurries of snow out there, most of that not reaching the ground. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. It's still pretty cold out there. In fact, the high temperature only made it up to 30 degrees. That's 16 degrees below normal. Low temperature of 24, just a little bit below normal, but will probably fall below that before midnight because we're at that low temperature right now. A few flurries being reported at the airport. Winds out of the north-northwest at 8 miles per hour drop the wind chill to 15 degrees. High temperature trend over the next 7 days. Only 26 for a high tomorrow and 36 on Wednesday. Average high temperature should be in the middle 40s. We'll be close to that on Thursday, and then another shot of colder air arrives with some light snow from Thursday night or Friday night into early Saturday morning, and then temperatures for the weekend only hovering around the freezing mark before starting to climb up again as we head into next week. And the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center from November 20th through the 26th, calling for above normal temperatures basically from Wisconsin westward. And as far as precipitation is concerned, above normal precipitation, but a lot of that will be toward the end of the period. That could start around Thanksgiving with mainly rain at that point because high temperatures will be up around the 50-degree mark. Snow depth right now, thickest in the northern portion of the Midwest, already about 6 inches on the ground in far northern Wisconsin and the northern portion of the UP of Michigan, courtesy of Lake Superior. But look at the low temperatures this morning, teens and 20s, and compare that to the current temperatures, and in many cases, we're right at that low temperature for the day, and temperatures will continue down from here. Our forecast for tonight calls for a low of 14 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies this evening, turn partly cloudy overnight, so we'll be a little colder with a low 14. 26 for a high tomorrow, even though we'll have mostly sunny skies. On future track, those clouds will thin out tonight. That will allow temperatures to drop into the middle teens. High temperatures tomorrow only topping out in the middle 20s thanks to a west to northwesterly breeze. Tomorrow night, those temperatures drop into the middle teens, but notice the winds by morning starting to be coming out of the south, and on Wednesday that will allow high temperatures to get up into the middle 30s before they start dropping off later in the afternoon. As we take a look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, though, again, another shot of cold air for the weekend with a little bit of light snow from Friday night into Saturday morning, but there are signs we should start warming up as we head toward Thanksgiving Thursday of the following week with some rain showers possible on Turkey Day itself.
Well, it is a very short week for the Packers, but the veteran guys on this team, they know how to handle it. So what's the plan? That story next in sports. Well, Alex Hornibrook's still on this week's injury report ahead of the Badgers' trip to Purdue on Saturday. Also on the list today, running back Tywan Deal and offensive lineman David Edwards. Both this week's game at Purdue and next Saturday's Axe game against Minnesota are, by the way, at 2:30 p.m. The Boilermakers have made quite the turnaround in the last 2 years under the direction of head coach Steph Brom. Last year they were 7-6. Right now they're at an even 5-5 and had the same record as Wisconsin in conference play. Now the Badgers know this week's game against Purdue will be very different than the one they played in West Lafayette 2 years ago.
Cold and windy. Nobody in the stands. Drew Brees. I remember Drew Brees was there, and it was like I was excited about seeing Drew Brees, but they were like, no one else was excited to see Drew Brees. I was like, what is happening right now? That is Drew Brees talking to the fans, and it just didn't seem like anyone cared. But then I watched the Ohio State game, and it's full and it's loud.
Quite the turnaround indeed. Well, it is a very, very short week for the Packers after playing the late afternoon slate of games yesterday. Green Bay will play at Seattle on Thursday Night Football this week. They'll practice tomorrow and then head to Seattle on Wednesday. Now, the good news is that the team took a step in the right direction yesterday when they beat the Dolphins. Now, the Packers, though, they have yet to win a game on the road this season. They're 0-4 away from Lambeau. But even with a short week, veterans like Brian Bulaga, they know what to do.
I don't think anyone likes the turnaround a Thursday night game. I mean, it's tough, and especially we're flying 4 hours or 3.5 hours. I don't know the exact time. I mean, it's tough to, hop on a plane and go out and play a Thursday night game when it's 2 time zones different. I mean, it's tough. I mean, so I'm not making excuses because that's not what I do, but we're going to have to get our bodies ready to go back out there, make that flight, and play a good game.
And some changes to the Badgers men's basketball roster. Senior forward Alex Ilikanen has left the program, but he will remain enrolled at Wisconsin. That's according to team officials. The Grand Rapids, Minnesota native was named Mr. Basketball in his senior year of high school and recruited under former head coach Bo Ryan. Ilikanen played in 85 games in his career, averaging 1.5 points and 1.3 rebounds per game.
Halle Berry! And I'm single 15!
Yeah, you heard that right. Halle Berry. That's Rams quarterback Jared Goff using the audible Halle Berry in the game against the Seahawks yesterday. That play picked up 8 yards, by the way. And I suppose since they are in Los Angeles, they do need some Hollywood flair. Now, the actress Halle Berry definitely noticed. She tweeted at Goff afterwards, and the Rams, what is a Halle Berry? Obviously is a positive play that picks up yards.
Yeah, she wanted to know if that was a good play or not.
Yes, definitely.
All right, Melissa, thank you. Final check with Gary.
Pretty cold out there. A couple of flurries. Good thing we don't have to name weather patterns.
We call an audible on this weather.
Yeah. A couple of flurries out there right now. Temperature is very cold, only mid-20s with wind chills right now, running in the middle teens. And if tomorrow look for a high temperature only in the middle 20s. We'll be back to the middle 30s on Wednesday, and then lower 40s on Thursday. A little colder for the weekend, maybe some light snow Friday night into Saturday morning. Shouldn't amount to too much. And then toward Thanksgiving, temperatures will be back up around 50 with some rain by the time we hit the holiday.
All right, Gary, thank you very much, and thanks for joining us for News 3 at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.